Hey YouTube, it's EbbenMagician34 with this week's edition of The Edge. Sorry, I'm a little sick here, guys. This week's Edge card is Ancient Sacred Wyvern. For some of you, this may not be so much tech anymore as it once was, but if you don't know about this card, it's time you did. Despite its appearance and name, this guy is a 7-star synchro light attribute that's actually a fairy, and its only specific requirement is a light tuner. Basically, if you have higher life points than your opponent, he gains attack equal to the difference. So the bigger your life point lead, the bigger a beatstick this guy is. Kind of like the Agent of Judgment Mars, or the Agent of Force Mars, except that you don't need Sanctuary in the Sky on the field to make him work. He just works by himself. He will lose attack if your life points are lower, but even then, if he gets destroyed in battle, you can pay 1,000 in special and back. So he can even be useful under those circumstances. But basically, this guy's a good 7-star option used for dealing out more damage than you probably could under other circumstances. And there are a lot of times you can use this guy, like if you're afraid of maybe gores waiting in the wings, this thing can kill when multiple monsters might not be able to. There's a variety of other reasons we're going to want to apply this guy. First off, the high popularity of Effect Veiler really has a lot to do with it. This card is 2, maybe even 3 in a lot of decks right now. And basically him plus any one of a number of 6 stars, including things like Bryanak, Gaianite, even Caius, or say Arndwing, which Blackwings can produce very easily. These are all perfectly good options. Anything you can Monster Reborn up, stuff like that. Basically, that's an instant 7-star. It's a good option late game when your opponent may be running low on answers for you. Another good option, hey, this one probably looks really familiar to some of you guys out there. Agents is super popular. And Ancient Sacred Wyvern should be, I would venture to say, should be in every Agent player's extra deck pretty much. She's a 2-star, and hey, these two monsters make 5, which equals to 7. And those guys aren't hard to get out. And creating a life point lead in Agents is not hard to do. And that said, another light monster. He doesn't get as much attention as he used to, but he's still around and he's not too hard to make with things like Glow Bulb running around, is Formula Synchron. And he's good Monster Reborn bait for you, of course. But then again, you might ask yourself, well, okay, but if I don't get lucky, maybe this guy's not necessarily a good option. Okay, granted, a life point lead may be a luck-based factor, but even then, you have to consider that half or so of the time you do have the lead, wouldn't it be nice to have an option like this that could just be a 1 monster when you can't produce multiple monsters, a 1 monster answer to just killing your opponent outright? But there are a lot of cards right now which are actually creating life point leads. Cards like Solemn Judgment and its cousin Solemn Warning are both very popular and can give you a big life point lead sort of artificially, but it still creates a life point lead for you early. Cards like Gores and Tragoedia inadvertently create life point lead for you because your opponent has to take damage to summon them. And both these guys are being run pretty heavily right now. And then cards like the Agent of Creation, of course, also create life point leads. Even things like Hero Lives for Gladiator Beasts also create huge life point lead potentials. Another just a great reason to run him is because, you know, with the exception of Black Rose Dragon, there really aren't a lot of good 7-star targets that can be generically sunk for. And granted, Wyvern isn't exactly generic, but basically, because of the existence of Veiler, he's essentially generic now, because Veiler is one of your easiest tickets into a synchro these days. That plus Monster Reborn can make some very quick and easy synchros, because of course Monster Reborn can steal for the right level amount from your opponent's graveyard, as well as your own, to make syncing for 7 with Veiler a lot easier. Basically, bottom line, this guy's an excellent big finisher. And if you've got room, realistically these days you only need about the 1 Black Rose Dragon. 2 is usually excessive, and you can't use its other ability anyway, and blowing the field isn't always all it's cracked up to be, considering it usually uses your normal summon. And when Black Rose can't finish things, this guy can. So he's worthy of a lot of consideration, and I encourage you to at least try him out. Once again, just because of Veiler's prevalence, popularity, and its power in the format, these two guys are one of the best teams you can get, at least for the next few months anyway. So, until next time, rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos.